everything that's happened to Kratos, I do not think he gets a happy ending at all. Um, there, he killed his wife and his first child. I mean, and then he goes. I mean, albeit he goes to a different land and he doesn't know who he's sleeping with, but nonetheless, she does happen to be a god also, and that just kind of is all over. Well, not a god, a giant. Gods are. I mean, I
Like
would consider.
half
Yeah,
giant,
yeah.
something
I
like that.
mean, yeah. I would consider giants to be godlike. I guess you could say not.
Yeah.
I mean, they were such a threat to the gods that they had to wipe them out. Obviously, you know what I mean. Like they definitely have the potential to be godlike. Um, so I think that is a little weird in its own, but I mean, how to progress the story? That's how you progress the story. That's how you that it has. I can't see it any other way for him to get involved with those gods unless something like that happens. And as far as his kid being named Loki, I I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that?
I honestly don't know. Did we already start the episode?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
I
started.
didn't,
We started.
I didn't
We
realize
started.
it. But all right, let me do my intro real quick. Welcome back, guys. This is podcast. Josh said what? This is the podcast that'll change the world. I'm here once again with my friend Joe. We're
Hey guys.
actually, as you can tell, we're diving deep into God of War. We got God of War Ragnarok coming out next year, and so to go ahead and jump back into that with Loki. Yeah, I don't know. That was such a weird twist to begin with finding out that Kratos' son is Loki. Like once we got to the end of God of War, and then you see like all the hieroglyphics and everything, and that his Loki's mom, Kratos' wife, was half giant and everything like that. I don't know. And it because Loki is the god of mischief, I'm really interested with the fact that is Loki going to potentially kill Kratos, like kind of how it looked in the hieroglyphics. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes, that is what it looked like, but that's also another subject I wanted to talk about. What if he had no choice? Like, what if I don't know. It's like it's crazy. Anything can happen. Anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't say I'm not surprised. I'd be like I'm half surprised with it because the fact that you've already seen a strain on in the last God of War, you saw a strain with their relationship as father and son, and you saw Loki eventually like he shot Kratos in the arm with the arrow, and then he tried to attack. Is his name Boldir?
Yeah,
The
I
final
think
boss? Yeah.
Baldir. Yeah,
Yeah, so you see already, and like in the Ragnarok trailer, you see already Loki. He still has that tenacity and that mischiefness to kind of rebel against Kratos. Because I remember because I just watched the trailer again before we started. There was Loki was like telling Kratos, "You need to stop acting like a father and start acting like a general." And you saw some conflict there, so I don't know. I'm still on the fence on if it's going to be something that's just destined to happen, whether it's like Loki doing it purposely or if it's more so like an accident. Maybe like it just happens, freak accident some way to where Loki ends up killing Kratos.
I could see that too. I could definitely see that. But I just, I don't know. I just thought it was weird that his son was Loki because, yeah, I wouldn't have expected it at all. To be
Yeah.
honest, you like it's just so weird because from what we know of Norse mythology and all that other good stuff, is that I mean he was just a god of mischief that was born half god, I guess, or something like that. I don't know too much about mythology, but I know a little bit here and there. But I do think we're going to very possibly play as Atreus at some point in the next game. Like full on just Atreus. Like
I think so
at
too.
some point in time I think they're both gonna get separated and it's gonna be in some intense stuff because How the fuck does Atreus give birth to a serpent? Who knows? Or maybe Atreus just finds an egg and ends up keeping it or whatever. I don't know. This is so crazy. See, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. I wherever Santa Monica Studios takes it, it's going to be good. I
Yeah.
love the direction they've gone with how it's the over the shoulder kind of combat. It's a little bit more free flowy. Um,
Open world.
not it wasn't so much open world. There was
Yeah.
definitely a path that they wanted you to follow, and you could have kept going on that path. But they had the side characters, Mimir and Atreus, telling you, "Hey, what's over there?" and stuff like that. That
Yeah.
made you want to explore and stuff like that. I didn't explore as much as I wanted to before I stopped playing the game. I think I started killing the um, Valkyries. I think I killed like three of them, and then I stopped playing.
I hated the Valkyries. They were
Did you
so
finish it?
difficult. Yeah, so I did end up getting the platinum for God of War. I'd say it probably took me like a good month and a half. But dude, those Valkyries were no joke, especially because just to be able to really take them on and take them all out, like they just keep on getting harder and harder and harder. You have to do all the side exploring, collect all the stuff, because then you're going to get all the extra big bonus weapons and the upgrades and everything and the armors. The first Valkyrie, which was I think it was Helheim, where
Hmm.
like it's all like lava, fire, and rock. That was the very first one that I fought. I died probably like 8 times before I finally killed her. And it was like I found her at a point where I still wasn't even that really beefed up yet with Kratos. And so after the eighth death, I was like, okay, screw this. I got to go back to farming. I got to progress more and get more under my belt before I could take her on, because I would throw 20, 30, 40 strikes, and like their health bars like this. I'd only take off like that much. So, and wasn't there like 12 of them that you had to go through?
Yes, yeah, something
Yes.
like that. It was not fun. Oh, at least I didn't. I play. I Yes, I play a game for a challenge, but I also play a game for the story, and I've always
Yes.
played God of War for the story, and it was such a great story. So especially because we've beaten them all, and I mean we beat them when we were so young, so it's just like
Hmm.
after so many years of there not being a God of War, for them to just release a next gen God of War was just it was great because again like I said, they changed the fighting style entirely, and
Yeah.
I think it was honestly for the better. Even though we did get the chains and the blades later, they still kind of like felt like as if you were in that top down view type look where you're running around. Um, it,
Doing all
I
that
don't.
nasty area damage and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
exactly. It was just all AOE damage, and it was great, and that's why I loved God of War because
Yeah.
you could literally just kill things over and over again, and
And the combos too you could put together.
exactly. They brought all the combos back too for the most part. And I don't know, the whole first part of the game with the axe, I was like, okay, this axe is pretty cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it is what it is. But then like that midpoint, bam, oh, you get the blades. Such a good lead up to the blades.
Yeah.
Everything about it was just great. Um, it was definitely full nostalgia point at that like during those scenes.
Yeah, and I remember too with the God of War game, because you didn't get the blades until after Atreus fell sick, and that was because if I remember correctly, it's because the battle when one of Thor's was it sons, his two sons that you fought in God of War. Yeah, so the second one that was kind of like a little wimpy dude, the brunette guy, because he was electrocuting Kratos, and then you saw Atreus starting to get pissed off, and it was because the fact that he still thought he was human, and then that was causing him to die, and he still wasn't registering himself as a god. And so it was ultimately to that point, and the fact that Kratos was going to have to go to the underworld and take the heart of that one giant that's right at the entrance of, or like the exit entrance area of the underworld. And then you see him just bust out the blades. You see the ghost of Athena come out, the music. Like, bro, I had chills. I had chills when the blades came out, and then it came out with all the combos, all the nasty area damage. I was like, oh yeah.
it was definitely a good experience.
Yeah.
Definitely top 10 experiences that I've ever like seen in a game, to be honest. Like they did an amazing, like I said, they did an amazing job